So when I first started to get into real estate photography 5 or 6 years ago now, I was all over the internet trying to find good resources, good tutorials. I'm on YouTube just looking for anything I could to make me better so I could basically just start making some money a little bit quicker. And really it just came down to I learned everything from experience and a whole lot of failures. I look back at the photos that I used to take, that I delivered and was paid for, and I feel like almost embarrassed by them. I'm not going to show you those photos, but today, 6 years later, I feel really confident. This is what I do for a living, and coming up in a month, it is what I do full time for a living. So I felt like it was a good time for me to start sharing everything that I learned over this last 6 years, and start to kind of fill that gap on YouTube where I feel like there's not a whole lot of creators talking about real estate photography. So I just created this behind the scenes video walking you through a beautiful $1.6 million house right on the water that I just did. So hopefully there's some features in there that kind of shed some light, no pun intended, on kind of how to take those photos, how to do the small bathrooms, how to do a little bit awkward kitchens. I think there's a lot of value in it for you guys, so I hope you enjoy. What is going on, guys? I wanted to walk you through a really cool video about just the behind the scenes of a house that I shot. I thought it would be a great opportunity to show you guys everything that I do. So this one is mostly just interior photos that I'm going to show you, but just kicking it off right away here, you can tell I am straightening up these chairs. I want everything to be perfectly symmetrical. These are things that you really notice when you are editing the photo and then in the final product. So any little thing that you can fix right there, any little tiny adjustment, it really matters for that final photo. So I turned around here because the realtor was in the backyard there, kind of helping me set things up. So he was gonna be in the frame. So I just decided I went ahead and got it set up, but then I turned around and I got this front door shot instead. And I'm just messing with some settings here, trying to get everything right for that first picture. I had like autofocus on, I want to put manual focus on, get my settings all right. So, but speaking of settings, starting to take some photos here. My settings are normally pretty consistent. I like to do f7.1, maybe f.8 or f8. I like to keep my ISO at 100 if possible. If it's a little bit darker room, I'll obviously go a little bit higher ISO, and then I adjust my shutter speed accordingly to do a nice bracketed HDR shot. So I don't necessarily look at what that number is for my shutter speed. I just visually look at it. You can see it here in the corner. Like I always have my screen up. I make sure I am exposing for the room, making sure I'm exposing for the windows, making sure I'm just hitting all the highlights, the lowlights, everything in one photo, so that when I blend them all together in Lightroom, I get a nice even shot. I have all of the different light sources that I need, and I do not use a flash. I know a lot of people will sit here and say that that is crazy. How do you shoot all these homes without a flash? That's just how I do it. I've used a flash a couple times, but I have just found that the pictures feel so nice and natural, and they look incredible if I just take my time and do some good HDR photos. So right here I'm doing a bathroom. You can tell it's a little bit of a smaller bathroom. I mean, not tiny, but it's not large. And one of the first things I notice is the robe on the wall, the towels on the wall that don't really look the best. So I went ahead and grabbed those off and just trying to position the camera to make it look as big as I possibly can. So get back all the way back to where you're just inside of the frame of the door there, and go ahead and start snapping the pictures. I snapped that first picture and I noticed right away that there's one toilet paper square right there that was just hanging off. And so what I always do if I take a picture that I don't like, I instantly delete it, and then I retake it. I don't like to keep photos in camera that I know I'm not going to use, because when I'm done with a shoot, I like to just drag all of those files right into Lightroom and not have to sift through them all right there. I try to keep the process as clean as possible. For bathroom shots like this that have an exterior door, like a pool bath or something like that, I normally take a photo with the door open and the door closed. Realtors have really seemed to like that, to where they have a choice. A lot of times when you have the door open, you can see the pool right through the door. In this case, you can only see the kind of side yard it walks around to the pool, but I still thought it was valuable to show that this bathroom has a nice exterior door. You don't have to track in water and whatnot when you get out of the pool. So definitely a nice feature to show off. So this is a pretty large kitchen, very open and kind of hard to shoot, honestly. There's no good straight on photos to be taken here. You have to take them at an angle. So I took this nice wide one right here where you could see the dining room a little bit. And then I decided to come over and shoot over top of the range there so that you could see the backyard, you could see the pool and the water. And one of the first things I'm doing is, I pay attention to every single little thing. So the fan is on in the room next to it, which you can kind of see in the LCD screen on the camera there. But I always turn the fans off because, especially in HDR shots, when you're blending these images, that fan will just look crazy. It's just gonna be one whipping around fan, and we do not want that. It does not look good. It does not look luxury by any means. Very amateur looking. So always turn your fans off, make sure they're perfectly still. Several times I've been just barely out of reach and I will take my shoe off and get up there on my tippy toes and just touch the fan so I can get it to stop a little bit faster. Just a little tip there. This is the master bathroom, beautiful bathroom. I wanted to really show off how this just leads right into that window overlooking the water. So I'm trying to get back as far as I can. And when I'm doing this, I'm just barely outside of that door frame. I don't want the door frame in it, obviously. And something to note real quick, right there where you see the two mirrors and the lights around the mirrors. When I first walked into that bathroom, the mirror on the right was actually a different color light. It was more of a yellowish light, while the one on the left was a whiter light. And I'm really glad I saw that to begin with, because I went over, I wasn't sure if it was broken or if it was just a fixed color, but I went over and I noticed that you could change the colors on it, so I made sure that they were both the same. Really important. That would definitely look awkward in the final photo if one was a yellow light and one was a white light. So I'm glad I caught that, and just a note to pay special attention to every single thing in the photos. So right here, I want to do a straight on shot. The angled shots are nice and they're necessary. They show how big everything is, but I feel like the straight on shots are always so much more impactful almost. They're just a luxury feel. It feels like something you would get out of Architectural Digest. So I really try to get those shots whenever they're available, and this felt like a good opportunity for it. And just like the other bathroom, there's some things I didn't like. So these towels right here, they're not horrible, but they didn't lay quite right. The brownish color didn't really go with how white everything was in the bathroom. So I just decided to take them down instead of making them all straight. I just took a test shot right there, and I did not like the framing of it. So I backed up a little bit, moved the framing slightly. As you can see, I deleted that picture, just like I did previously in the other bathroom. But right here, I got it lined up good, got the photos for HDR, and yeah, the final picture I think came out really beautifully. So this is the upper deck that is attached to the master bedroom, and I take some time right here to get this straight on shot looking right over the water, and I always really make sure that chairs and things like that are lined up. I didn't really used to, and I quickly noticed that that is a very amateur thing to do. If you want your photos to be professional and really stand out, you're gonna really take care to notice things like that. So I made sure I'm like looking at the lines of the decking and making sure that the legs are matched up, making sure that the spacing is the same on each side, and that's how you get a really professional photo. Also, a quick thing to note is, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, and that's perfectly fine, but I shoot in auto outdoors. I just find that the results out of camera are really phenomenal. I use a Canon 6D Mark II with a 16-35 f2.8 lens. Fantastic setup. I've really loved it so far, and whenever I'm taking photos outside, it just It's so quick and easy to throw in auto. I do not do bracketed shots for outdoors. Sometimes I will for a patio shot, like a screened in porch, but the majority of the time I just do single photos and edit that single photo. So right here I'm taking some shots over the balcony. As you can see, I think that came out beautifully. You know, show the yard, show the pool, show that view. I wanted to really encapsulate everything that you get when you're living in this place. I want you to see that this is your master bedroom and this is your view. So I try to take a few different photos up there, really highlight the whole thing. And then as you can see right here, I like to shoot over top of it so you can kind of see everything going on down below. This was such a beautiful home, such a great place to be able to put in the portfolio, you know. Every single thing that we did in that backyard was very purposeful. I made sure, I know I'm not gonna really go through the backyard shots right now, but you can see the stuff when you're looking down over the edge, so I feel like it's good to bring it up. I just wanted to make sure everything was perfect. You know, align the chairs perfectly, align the shade perfectly, the umbrella, you know, make sure the chairs around the fire pit are even and symmetrical. Just the little things like that really make a huge difference.
There's a guy kayaking there, so I wanted to make sure I got that as maybe like a little lifestyle photo. Alright guys, that is going to conclude this video. I am actually headed out to another photo shoot right now. I'm going to film some more behind the scenes stuff there. Hopefully you're enjoying this content and finding some value out of it. If you are, please hit the subscribe button and leave a comment about what was your favorite part. Also let me know what other kind of videos you'd like. I'm really going to try to teach everything I know about real estate photography, but if you have anything specific that you are wanting to know about, let me know and I will try to make a video about it. All right guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.